All right, we're here. Another beautiful, gorgeous day in the D13. We got the customer's 240 S13 coupe sitting over there because we're doing a transmission wiring conversion over to S14 over to the S14. So this is the clean 1996 manual transmission S14, and this is the automatic 1995 S14, both KAs. So as you see the problem, one's a manual, one's an automatic. This one is nice and clean, this one's a little beat up, and yes, you are hearing it right. The clean automatic will be having a clean manual, will have an automatic, and the beat up automatic will have a manual. So since this is an OBD2 cars, as far as them reading up certain electronic points, we're swapping over the wire harness from this one over to this one, so everything reads all right. There's no check engine lights. So Terry's taking apart this whole harness, I'm taking apart this whole harness. This is a stock old girl. So just pretty simple, just as far as the distributors, MAF, air temperature, the injectors, all the idle air control valves, and then just some other little wiring. And then we'll just be taking off the transmission and doing the old swap-a-rooney. So follow along for more.
What's up, guys?
Follow along as we take these cars apart and swap over the, what do you want to say, legs? Yeah. Alrighty, enough talking. But if you look to the front right here, dude, this is stock OEM kouki, dude.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
OEM kouki?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it's not converted?
Yeah, dude. Look, then we got the zenki right over here.
Ew.
Nice little lip.
A little Camry, huh?
Oh. Come check this out, guys. You know, I guess you need some drift spares or something. What? Factory tow hook? Trailer hook? Look at that.
Tow your burners to the track, dog.
Tow your boat.
He's got the exhaust. The exhaust. Single exit. Looks like 3 inches. Sounds pretty nice. Craters always sound nice. Well,
Back at it.
that's right. Oh no! The S14 is naked!
Yeah, literally both.
No engine harness. So, the S14s, they outsmarted or outthought the S13s. So what we didn't know is that we had to take the dash out and the AC blower motor to get through the hole to get the harness out, the engine harness off.
Just because these clips sit all the way up like that on a zip tie right up through here, so it's locked on, and then all these are connected into it. So you literally have to take the whole blower motor off just to get to this whole entire guy, take the whole dash off.
So now we can start pulling it through. And this one's gonna be naked. Then we're gonna swap harnesses, put the harnesses back, put the insides on, jack them up, take off the trans, start the goods.
Start the real reason.
Yeah, start the real reason why we came. Well, let's get her done.
All right, we got change of plans now. So, since this car is kind of going away, and he's keeping this car and putting more time into it since it's the OEM kouki, we're doing a full subframe, full suspension swap over everything that's on this car, as far as the lower control arms, the sway bars, the rear subframe, the VLSD, the subframe, the solid subframe bushings, all that we're gonna put onto this car, and we're actually selling him our manual transmission to go put onto the automatic. So we'll have 2 manual cars, and then it'll just bring the value point a little bit higher on this car. So that's what we're doing today.
No automatics around here, boys.
Nope. So we're just swapping everything over from the S14 zenki over to the S14 kouki. So I'll see if I can maybe put a little, set up the camera somewhere so you guys can see what we're doing. But honestly, we're kind of moving and grooving. So stay tuned, bear with us.
Bum 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 bidum bum bidum. Bum 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 bidum bum bidum bum bidum.
Rapper, dude. Right meow.
Right meow. Just like that, ladies and gents. Rear subframe on an S14 is on out. Just like that, baby. The rear subframe on an S14 is out. The zenki is naked. That wheel gap though. So now we're on the kouki.
Pass me the towel.
What we gotta do, just take off those brake lines. Take off these 14s. 17 in the back. Right there. And on the other side, it should be good to go. Ready to drop. Just like that.
Like that, subframe swap, the old swap-a-rooney.
Ooh,
We're on out.
that's simple. Let's get her done.
Alright, so the OEM one is back on the zenki car. And
Just like that, baby.
yep, so now we're gonna give you just as far as the easy way to just take the subframes out. So as Terry
And to
was
give
saying,
you guys a little rundown on what solid mounts and, you know, the pluses on what they actually do for you.
like running your car with them and whatnot.
Exactly.
So as far as, we'll just easy ways, just taking off these rear subframes as far as the S14s. You just have the two 17s on the back half with these studs mount up to. Then you also have your brake lines you have to take off. S14s, the exhaust runs up the middle, so you have to remove that as well. And
the brake line,
exactly,
instead of taking off from the actual caliper, you go into the right in the middle of the car. In the transmission tunnel, you'll see like the little divider
plate. I'll show you.
One where your e-brake on handle, your emergency brake handle is.
So here's this piece. It's like a bicycle brake cable. That's the pin. You just bring the cable out to the side and then pull her out. And then now you have your cables free.
Show them where they're bolted up to the chassis too.
Yep. They bolt on right over here.
212s.
And then you just have your clips running and then separating off to both lines.
And this one actually has coilovers, so you can actually adjust them to your ride height on, you know, your preference. If you want it super high or super low, whatever.
So tell them the pros and cons as far as running the solid subframes and as well as solid diff mounts.
So the solid mounts, actually, they're actually really good to run. If you guys haven't be able to felt, you know, really bad used OEM rubber mounts, they're super bad, especially when you're drifting. That's when you really can feel it.
How do you know when they're going out?
You literally feel your whole rear end start dog walking on itself.
Start shaking itself when you go to
tracking
clutch
on
kick.
itself, yeah.
Literally, like, it's not putting down the power down anymore. You can hear it just rattling about.
Rattling when you're doing a burnout or fucking, you know, drifting or anything like that. You actually feel your whole rear end start like bouncing because of the rubber mounts not, you know, holding its rubber anymore. It's torn.
So once you upgrade to obviously the solid mounts, they're only gonna have kind of one hole for that stud to stay in. So that being said, the torque and power that's being distributed through the motor and the trans, where this part would be the weakest, I guess you could say, as far as the distribution. It's now solid. So it's gonna be able to put a lot more power down, as far as, not a crazy amount, but from the OEM to now, as far as keeping it there, as far as it being, you know, like a 20-year-old car. So just upgrading these make a big difference as far as what you're doing. Daily driving, you know, they are a little bit harder ride, but it's nothing crazy as far as like lowered suspension.
What you want though, if you're complaining about a harder ride then.
But like I was saying, there's pros and cons. Like
plastic rubber mounts.
If you're out there time attacking or drifting and you need more stability, you need to go with as far as solid motor mounts, solid subframe bushings, and as far as the rear diff. So we will set the camera up, we'll just slide that underneath the car, show you guys kind of, you know, it's not too hard, you just gotta evenly distribute the weight, and then just push on up, and then you'll be good to go.
Slide her on in, put her on. Go ahead, Joe. Go up. Can you see the door again? There she goes. Go up. Keep going up.
Terry, we're lifting off the car.
Okay.
You don't want like a catch can or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to put this one together. If you do it.
I love it, that catch can though. He's like, let's put a catch can. Oh fuck, how is that? How's the hand leaking? Did it get a hole?
Yeah, it's got a little pin.
Oh.
That .3 fluid's corrosive, my boy. That .3 fluid.
Oh, you can get some threads on yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably if I hit it like one more time with your Thor. Let me see it. Who's your daddy, bitch?
Terry?
Thor!
We're 17.
Come on.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go with this shit. Oh yeah. This cookie's gonna feel like a new girl. Cookie, do you love me?
Oh, take him. All right.
Where's that 14?
I'm gonna drop her real quick, dude.
Okay, drop
Clear. Oh, and there she is.
Solid subframe.
About 3 minutes to put it in or so. So there you guys go. So since it's solid, the mounts want to fly a little bit. You gotta give a little bit of motivation. So as you've seen, Thor was helping us out. So now we just put on the brake caliper lines, all the e-brakes, and now the rear subframe's done. We want to do the hardest first, and now we'll just move on to the front and get it all done. All right, so all the front suspension is now on both of the cars. Since the calipers were taken off, now it's time to bleed the system. So usually there's 4 corners. You start furthest away from the master cylinder. We've already done the driver's side, and the reason why I did that first is because the brake proportioning cylinder is on this side, so I just want to start furthest away from there. So as you see, I have my nice clear hose on there so I can see as far as any air pockets going to the system. Terry, why don't you pump that brake for me, bro? Pump that brake pedal, dog.
Pumping the brake pedal, dude. I I'm holding the brake pedal now.
All right, hold on. Technical difficulties.
Operator error.
Yes, sir. All right, so Terry's on there with the brake pedal, putting pressure into it. He's now holding the brake pedal still as I'm letting all the air pockets out. I'll now tell him it's locked closed, and now he'll pump the brake. So what we're doing is we're pushing all that air to the end of this line. As you can see,
Air travels to the top. That's why the nipple's on the top of the caliper.
as you can see, so I'll wait for my cue command.
Holding.
Oh, there it is. Crack this line. As you can see, those air bubbles are what we don't want.
Is a no-no.
So that's how your brake pedal is gonna basically feel squishy and then hard again. Closed. And forgot my keyword. So that's the same reason you do if your clutch pedal is soft and you've just replaced a line which has fluid in there. Usually that means that there's air still in the system. So just go ahead and bleed it on out. So we'll just do this a couple more times until this whole line is solid stream, and then I'll know that there's no, oh, there it is again. Crack that, see all that?
What was that noise?
Someone's phone going off. So as you can see, the stream is starting to get a lot more better. All the air pockets are going up. Couple more times, hold.
You mean close?
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of just put this hose on there so you can see the air going through it. Usually if you don't have it, you'll see it literally spurting out. But we're just doing this to show you what to look for.
Also, it saves you a mess too.
Oh, well then there's that. How to do on the other side.
Holding.
Holding. Cracking, as you can see. Nice solid stream. Closed. How's she feel there, partner?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Want to do it one more time?
One more time, just for safe measures.
That's right.
Yep, and then basically now I'll go and spin it. He'll lock the brake and I'll make sure it's all good. But that is how you bleed any system as far as clutch fluid, brake fluid, power steering, as far as turning your wheel. But that's how it is.
Well, that's it. The brake bleeding was done. Now we got a hard pedal back. And we got a little gappy. But the gappage over here, you know, it just shrinked. Exactly, it fixed itself. So now we got the front cross member brace bar on there now. Stiffen it up a little bit.
Strut tower bar.
That's right. Now we just gotta put a manual trans with a clutch flywheel on it that we got at home waiting to be used. Solid. This kouki's gonna feel a lot better now.
All right, so now both cars sit here. Both have manual trans.
Beautiful thing.
We didn't really show you the trans going in. We didn't know if you wanted to watch us, you know, put it in and whatnot. But we're just waiting for the last touches as far as the fluids to go in, to drain to the top hat, and then tighten up the short shifter. Other than that, they're ready to go. Next video will then be starting up. We've already driven this one around, so we know that's good. Now it's just driving this old girl around, making sure she's all good. But we did do the full suspension swap as you guys seen, and as well put in the new trans. So I hope
this kouki's gonna be feeling a whole lot better.
Yeah. So next shots of them turning on and driving around.
All right, baby. It's on the ground. Dang, she does look good. So, it's the first time this car's seen a manual swap, and Terry Thornberry Performance did it. So we should be good to go. manual now, baby. All right, now let's go take a ride with him. Ciao. Yay. She made it back.
All right, so
We out here at Sunny El Monte. You already know, another satisfied customer. We love it. That's the next
she's running and driving. Actually, pop the hood for us. I want to show them.
Pop the hood.
I want to show them. If they got an automatic S14 and they're going to a manual, nice little easy thing is the jumper wire. This is gonna send signal over to your starter, so just make sure you jump that, and then that's really the only thing as far as for an S14 automatic to S14 to a manual. Other than that, she's good on the road. This one is good in driving. We already drove it, so he's not really gonna do another test drive.
We already know it's good to go.
For this old girl, she's got the full suspension like we were saying, and then the trans swap, so she's good to go. So
since we did, you know, change over the front subframe and everything like that, the alignment's off just a little bit.
yeah, so she's got to do that.
That's the only thing he has to go do, and just get a realignment for the front end. And
but sorry that we didn't show you guys like too much as far as us putting on the trans and whatnot. We're just kind of working and getting it done. But I hope you guys like the videos that we've been making. Comment below, you know, what you guys want to see more of.
the clean 1997 original S14 kouki.
Yeah,
right here.
this is all original. So like and subscribe, and hope you guys enjoyed the content.